You guys still here? You guys are still rocking with me? Let's get it, baby. Because we gonna grow and we gonna get better at whatever it is that we wanna do. So let's talk about it. The second step to controlling your thoughts is the Teachability Index. Now, what the Teachability Index is, what is your willingness to learn and what is your willingness to accept change? Now, both of these go hand in hand. If you have a high willingness to learn, but you have a low willingness to accept change, you have a weak Teachability Index. 10 times 0 is 0. Now, how do you work on your willingness to change or your willingness to learn? Sacrifice. Sacrifice. How do you know what's your willingness to learn? What are you willing to give up? To learn this information, I had to stop playing video games. It wasn't bringing me substance. Now, let me give you an example. If your passion is playing video games, now make it a monetizing activity. Be a gaming YouTuber. Make your passion lucrative for you so you can do it to always make yourself happy. That's the Teachability Index. So the Teachability Index is always telling you to be teachable, have a high willingness to learn the information that you're looking into, and be willing to change. When I was practicing these steps, I had to completely sacrifice all the things that just wasn't bringing me substance. You can't hang around the same people. You can't play the same video games. You can't listen to the same music if you want to go to a different level. And when I say music, it's just positivity. I'm not saying you can't listen to rap. There's positive rap. Russ, Nipsey Hussle, all talks about growth, manifesting. Teachability Index. You have to have a high willingness to learn and a high willingness to accept change. If you have 10 times 10 high willingness to learn is a 10, high willingness to accept change is a 10. 10 times 10 is 100. You have a high Teachability Index. What you really have to focus on is always be teachable. Just because you've heard it before doesn't mean you can't gain a different type of knowledge on that subject. Our perceptions are never the same. That's why you'll see people arguing. You're like, wait, you guys are both kind of making the same point, but it's just a different way of saying it. So you have to make sure that you don't just be declining information. If someone says, hey man, you read this book? Yeah, I read it. I read it before. Oh yeah, I got it. I've did that before. You listen because you may gain something that you didn't read or you didn't take from that video or whatever it is that you're trying to gain the knowledge from. So you always be teachable, have a high willingness to learn and have a high willingness to accept change. That's how you start to control your thoughts. It's just that simple. You say, hey, this person's talking to me, but they're giving me... It's just taking your own perception. You say, hey, I got this knowledge. Now I choose to take what I want from it. It's just that simple. I wanted to knock out this video. I'm sure you guys wondering what's going on. I do try and do my videos from home, but today I was like, hey, I'm in the office. Let me knock it out and get you guys this knowledge. So the Teachability Index is the step 2 and very important. Remember in our last video, make sure you guys check that out. Who do you listen to? And the step 2 is your Teachability Index. You have to have a high willingness to learn and a high willingness to accept change. And let me give you guys an example. In the information that I study, the guy says, I have a high willingness to learn. I have a high willingness to accept change. But the guy that was giving the lecture, he says, I'm going to give a seminar that's going to teach you how to make millions of dollars from home. You never have to leave home, but it's in Los Angeles. And the guy basically says, oh, I'm not going to that. And then he goes, and it's going to cost $5,000. And this is back in the 80s. So, that's a lot of money. He says, I'm definitely not going to that seminar. And the guy giving the lecture says, and that's why you will always be a loser. That's why you will always be in the same position that you've always been because you didn't change the way of you thinking. Some things I don't even think about it just because it makes me feel good. I just say, hey, fuck it. Let me pay for it. Let me sign up for it, because I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know what this situation or circumstance is going to bring or what opportunity is going to come about. So you always be teachable and always be willing to accept change. Another example, I had a friend I was hanging out with, and I try not to hang out too much. I really try not to hang out too much because I'm wanting to become a public figure. I'm wanting to become someone that you just see all the time on social media, but I realize that there's certain places that I should or shouldn't be seen, basically. But man, so I just went with my gut. It was like, you know what? Ain't nobody worried about me right now. Let me go hang out. Let me go enjoy myself. Let me go enjoy my day. I got great work done, and it was like, let me just go be me. So I went and hang out with some friends. So they pretty much hang out in the neighborhood. So, I just don't like to be outside like that. If we're going to hang out, let's kick it in your backyard. Let's kick it in the house. I just don't like to be out. So, but it turned out to be a beautiful day, even more beautiful than it already was. I think, that was the same day I had a listing appointment. Then I got some content done, edited, completed. And then to put the icing on the cake, I went to just, kick back, relax. And one of my friends, I was running back to my car because I had forgot something. One of my friends says, man, that's my real estate agent. When I'm ready to buy, that's going to be my guy. Like 4 people ran up and said, hey man, I actually need some help. Because you don't know what you don't know. So those 4 people, got them all into my database, saved their number, staying in touch. But there was one particular guy who says, hey, I need something right now. I need something immediately. We talked. We exchanged phone numbers, and I let him know, hey, I'm off right now. I'm just hanging out. This is not, I think I had on like flip-flops or something. So I was like, hey, this is not, my everyday thing. But I made sure when I brought him into the office, I was dressed 100% ready to go. So it's just about, you don't know what you don't know. Just go with your gut. Just go with your gut, because you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what situation or circumstance is going to come about, and that's going to get you to where you want to be. So be teachable. Have a high willingness to learn and have a high willingness to accept change. And what I mean so much by that, and how do you get there? How do you have a high willingness to learn and high willingness to accept change? Is what are you willing to sacrifice? I completely gave up everything that just does not bring me of substance. If you're not growing, you're dying. So you have to always be teachable. We can do it together. What is something that you're doing that you want to give up and you need help? When comment below, let me help you. Because I was a big video gamer. I was a big time kickback person. But I realized that this job is not going to get me to what I want for my kids. I didn't want to do nothing outside of my job. Babe, I'm off. I'm done. My money's made. You'll get the check, Friday. I ain't doing nothing. But that's how it was when I was a worker. Outside of work, I didn't want to do anything. But I had to realize that I'm not doing anything for my children. I'm not providing in the way that I need to get them the things that they want, or not want, get with them things that they need. They need food. They need consistency. They need dependability. They need everything that you can give them, because they didn't ask to be here. So for me, it's always just about learning every day. What can I do to be better today or tomorrow, whatever. It's just about being better. So, hey guys, make sure you're being teachable. Remember, number 2 to controlling your thoughts is always being teachable. What is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to accept change? How do you find what those variables are, or how high you are? Is by what are you willing to sacrifice? I almost lost my marriage studying this information. My wife wanted my undivided time, but I couldn't. I can't. Because me being my best me is being able to provide the best for my family. If you're not taking care of you, who else is? So make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like this video, and always be teachable. Make sure you guys stay tuned so you guys are getting the step 3 on how to control your thoughts. Have a great day. Take it easy.